You're live from San Juan, Puerto Rico, an island that is still reeling. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Relief efforts are underway. There's disagreement certainly between a lot of folks in Washington and a lot of people here on the ground about how effective they have been, about whether the military should have brought in a three-star general, should have been brought in sooner, should have gotten on the ground sooner. That's to be discussed. But we wanted to go out, and we've had correspondence here, obviously, for the last week. Today, I went to a place called Loíza. It's about a 25-minute drive out of San Juan, not very far at all, where there is still obviously no electricity. Most people don't have clean drinking water in their homes, but gas stations were open, and they weren't actually rationing gas anymore. You could actually fill up your tank, but I wanted to see what the whole process was like. Take a look. In Loíza, gas stations are open, but the lines are long and agonizingly slow. It's 91 degrees, and Glory Beth Munoz is trying her best to stay cool. So, how long have you been waiting here?
¿Desde cuándo usted está aquí esperando?
Desde las 5 de la mañana.
Since 5 a.m.
Since 5 a.m.?
Yes.
And just sitting here in the car?
Mm-hmm.
Felicita Perea can't sit in her car any longer. She's been waiting for nearly 10 hours.
Desde las 4:30 de la madrugada.
I've been here since 4:30 a.m., she says. We're just waiting for the generator to turn on. They turned it off because it got overheated. When the generator starts again, so does the pumping. Like most places in Puerto Rico, here cash is king. Credit cards can't be processed, so dollars rule the day. A lot of people can't even bring their cars here. They're just waiting in line in person with as many gas cans as they can. But this line, there are dozens of people in it. It stretches all the way down here. And a lot of people here have been waiting for hours as well. What's it like? I mean, just day to day?
Well, I haven't been able to come back. Even my boss said, don't come back unless you have gas, just for our own risk. During the day, we have from 6 a.m. all the way till 7 p.m. to be out in the streets looking for whatever you can. So then
that's how you spend your days, basically, looking for stuff, water,
yes.
Gas, food, anything.
Right now, today is just gas.
Slowly, the cars inch forward. Felicita is close with cash in hand. Loíza's deputy mayor says the needs are overwhelming, and it all starts with the need for gas.
You did the chain, right? This is one piece, you did another piece, no fuel, no work, no money.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
People are patient, but they're tired and fed up.
I don't understand why things are so drastic and so out of control. If there's gas, if we have gasoline, so why isn't there in the stations?
Do you see, relief supplies coming? Do you see the federal government coming?
No.
Felicita finally makes it to the front. Fuel is no longer being rationed, so she can fill her tank and a small gas can as well. She drives off happy. Tomorrow, she'll look for water and other basic necessities. The line inches forward. It's another car's turn at the pump. That's the scene, just about 25-minute drive from here in San Juan. Ivan Watson has been here now for days. Gas, it's such an obvious thing. We all take it for granted in the States, but as the deputy mayor in that town said to me, if you don't have gas, you don't have a car. If you don't have a car, you can't get to your job. If you can't get to your job, you can't get paid. If you can't get paid, you can't get food.
Yeah, it breaks down the whole supply chain here. And everywhere I've gone on the island, these gas lines just go on forever and ever and ever. And then the other intriguing or disturbing thing is the people that are standing in line have no information. There's no telephone, no internet. They don't have televisions working right now, so they don't know, is a tanker going to come and deliver gas or what? And I keep asking everybody I meet, has anybody come from the federal government, anybody? And today, finally, I encountered a team of FEMA workers in one small town.
Let's take a look.
Welcome to Florida, Puerto Rico. Like so many other communities on this American island, this town suffers from fuel shortages and the collapse of many other utilities.
No electricity, no water in the house. No telephone, no internet, nothing.
Have you seen any
people for government? No,
officials?
No one. No one passed from my neighborhood. No.
One neighborhood in Florida is struggling with an additional problem. Are these fish in the road?
Yeah, son pescados, fish in the road.
You've got fish in the street?
The street. It's a little and big one.
A flood. This town is up in the hills, nowhere near the coast, and yet somehow the storm backed up a nearby creek, creating this flood that has inundated dozens of families' homes. Among those now homeless, Edith Negron.
We lose everything. First floor and second floor, everything is gone. Everything is gone.
She's now living with her son and family in a local government shelter. The municipality provided this pump to suck out thousands of gallons of flood water, and it's distributing fuel to volunteers like George Pagan, who's using his own equipment to help clear debris. Much of the cleanup here is also being done by ordinary citizens. During our visit, the mayor of Florida appeared accompanied by officials from FEMA, the Federal Disaster Relief Agency. The mayor tells a FEMA representative he's worried the flood could spread disease. Residents made homeless by the storm have their own questions for FEMA.
What are your sources for the food-wise and gas-wise and water?
We're reporting that need that the mayor reported directly to us. We're reporting that back to San Juan, and somebody in San Juan.
And how long would that take?
Well, some of the communities already, look, we are the first to come here, apparently, so...
Because for us to move back in here, because it's black water, it's called black water. There is no type of moving back in there.
Right, so...
FEMA's first visit to Florida comes 9 days after the storm.
And we've said this is the first of many visits. FEMA is not going to forget about this community. FEMA is not going to forget about the needs that they have, and we are going to work with our people back at the field office in San Juan about what we're going to do.
The people here could sure use some more help. So, my question here, Anderson, I've never covered a hurricane in the state of Florida, but I just wonder, after one of these monster storms has come through, would it take 9 days for FEMA to reach a town in the state of Florida like it took 9 days to reach the town of Florida here in Puerto Rico?
I mean, what FEMA says is, look, it's harder to pre-position supplies on an island that's going to be hit by such a big storm. There's concern about that, the equipment getting destroyed, and also, obviously, it's not Florida where you can just drive trucks. But you were saying the roads, I mean, the Florida town you were in Puerto Rico, that's only about an hour from San Juan.
Yeah,
so it's not like you took a helicopter to get there because the roads were impassable.
No, you take the highway and then you take an exit off it, and what is remarkable is all the roads I've traveled on have been cleared. Somebody's done a really good job at opening these up, and you can travel back and forth very easily. That FEMA team that I went with, I asked, did you bring anything to this community? They said they did supply a satellite phone to the mayor because these mayors can't even call to the headquarters here, the government in San Juan, when there's an emergency.
Right. So that's an assessment team from FEMA, basically. They look at what the needs are, they report back to the organization here, and then I guess the idea is they then send out supplies at some date to be determined.
Down the road. But what's really striking is how much of the recovery effort, the cleanup effort, is clearly just Puerto Ricans themselves helping each other up and just cleaning up on their own with some assistance from the municipalities that are obviously victims also of the storm.
Yeah, I was in town on one street and there was like a central house where people all cooking together and then feeding people on the block. Ivan, appreciate your reporting. It's been remarkable over the last couple of days. We're going to take a short break. We're going to have more from Puerto Rico. We're going to talk to the mayor of San Juan. Got a lot to talk to her about coming up next.